baseball.
Little roller up along first. Behind the bag. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight, and the Mets win. Now the 2-1.
Line drive to the base. Just as they score the tying run. Green to the plate. And he is safe. Safe at the plate. The Braves go to the World Series.
Have reserved seats somewhere along one of the baselines that sat when they were children and cheered their heroes.
Gibson swings and a fly ball to deep right field. This is going to be a home run. Unbelievable!
A 3-run home run for Bucky Dent. The Yankees now lead by a score of 3-2.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mazeroski has hit a 1-0 pitch over the left field fence at Forbes Field to win the 1960 World Series.
They'll arrive at your door as innocent as children, longing for the past.
The Pope arrived at Yankee Stadium. As one enthusiastic announcer put it, he is standing on second base.
Reggie Jackson. Long drive right field. It is goodbye. Big World Series for Reggie Jackson. The Blue Jays are World Series champions as Joe Carter hits a 3-run home run.
Racker throws. There's a left back. It's going to be, I believe, the Giants from the pennant. The Giants from the pennant. The Giants from the pennant.
The 0-1 pitch. A liner off Nagy's glove into center field. The Florida Marlins have won the World Series.
The memories will be so thick that I can brush them away from their faces.
The 1-0 delivery to Fisk. He swings, long drive, left field. If it stays fair, it's gone. Home run! The Red Sox win. And the series is...
Lolich fires, ball is hit high in the air. This should be the series. Freehand waving everybody away in foul territory. Detroit wins. Here's the pitch to Willie. Here's a liner straight to Richardson. The ball game is over and the World Series is over. Willie McCovey hit it like a bullet. A line drive right.
Baseball to mark the time.
The Oakland A's take. I'll tell you what, we're having an earth.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Candlestick Park for Game 3 of the 1989 World Series.
It's been erased like a blackboard, rebuilt and erased again.
Frank Robinson, the right-hand batter.
Long drive to left field. Way back. Just hits it back.
Base hit loaded, 1 out. Pena in a chance. The Twins are going to win the World Series. The Twins have won it.
Ozzie with 1 out. Smith corks one into right down the line. It may go. Go crazy, folks. Go crazy. It's a home run. And the
Willie Mays just brought this crowd to its feet with a catch, which must have been an optical illusion to a lot of people.
This field, this game, is a part of our past, Ray. It reminds us of all that once was good, and it could be again.
Broadcasted live.
Who wants to have some fun?
There are balls coming from all over the place. Left field, center field, right field. See, this is the kind of thing, quite honestly, right now, that makes you want to see the Chicago Cubs team lose.
Now, are you just saying you want to have fun, or do you really want to have fun?
It'll be fun.
Will the next person that sees anybody throw anything onto this field, point them out, or get them out of here? You don't live in Cleveland. You live in Cincinnati.
You talking to me? You talking to me?
That is the farthest thing in the universe from the truth.
Hello, everyone, live. It's the Dan Scott Show. And right there is your host.
New Year's Eve. Little surprise sneak attack edition of the Dan Scott Show, abbreviated as it may be today, but wanted to
to come and check in and see how things are going with you. Set you up for a couple of things happening from a Furman standpoint today and Wednesday, and look ahead to what we've got in store for you beginning next week when we'll come back on our regular schedule of 3 days a week. But anyway, hope that Christmas was good for everyone out there, and with New Year's Eve tomorrow, just a reminder here at the top of the show, they don't call it amateur night for nothing. Find someplace, be safe, don't do anything stupid. Don't, you know what? The best thing you can do probably is stay home, because even if you are being responsible, you're still very likely, in some instances anyway, to come across somebody else who's acting stupid and can affect you in a negative and sometimes harmful way. So just be careful, take it easy as we get set to ring in the first year of another new decade. Can you believe that? The second decade of the 2000s is over. And I was laughing with my wife Angela just in the last couple of days, because I happened to see something. I think it was an old ad from Best Buy back in 1999, and it was December 31st, 1999, and it said, "Remember, turn off your computer before midnight tonight. Remember the Y2K bug and that whole scare, which proved to be nothing." We were just laughing about that. Nobody knew. Nobody knew. But there were a whole lot of people, as is usually the case, who, because of a scare tactic, ended up making some money off of the general public, because we didn't know what was going to happen with our computer systems, both individually and corporate-wide, worldwide, when everything flipped over. They thought it was going to revert back to 1900 in its computer mind instead of moving forward. For some of you kids who may be watching this and wondering what in the world I'm talking about, just Google Y2K and you'll find out. I will tell you a funny story about that night. Just as the countdown was going on, we were watching the ball drop in New York City, and it hit zero. Everybody's screaming Happy New Year, and literally within about 2 seconds after the changeover from 1999 to 2000, the power went out in my house. And just for a half second, I thought, oh, my God, maybe something did happen. But just as quickly as it went off, it came back on. It just blinked for some reason, just enough to throw just the tiniest little bit of panic on you there for the moment. But anyway, that's another story for another day. That's a bit of history. Tomorrow is the current New Year's Eve. Just be careful. Be careful, because we want you to be here with us when we come back next week for our full range of shows. As mentioned, a couple of things Furman-wise coming up we're going to get into today. It's going to be an abbreviated version of the show. I wanted to check in with you. I think more than anything, Angela probably wanted me out of the house for a little while, so I thought I'd come spend a couple of hours in the office. And as I thought would be the case, I'm the only person in the football building today. But that's the way it goes. It is a beautiful, gorgeous day again. Looking out toward Paris Mountain, sunshine supposed to be in the mid-50s today. When you move to the south, like we did back in the first week of January, way back in 1999, you thought you were moving to warmer weather. What we got over Christmas was the expectation we had all those years ago that it was going to be in the upper 50s or low to mid 60s, and it was just gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Problem is, as you get older and you kind of reminisce about some things, I miss a little snow on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day from time to time. But I will say this, going out in shirt sleeves on a 64-degree day wasn't bad either. So just be blessed and be thankful for what you've got, right? The show, as always, is brought to you by our friends at Carolina Creative, not just simple, but simply brilliant. And you'll be hearing about them in our first commercial set coming up here in just a moment. When we come back, we'll set you up for a couple of things happening from a Furman standpoint. That is the women's game tonight and the promotion that is going on. And then the men are back in action for a matinee on New Year's Day in Lexington, Virginia. And we'll talk about that when we come back. But this is a pre-New Year's Eve edition of the Dan Scott Show, our final show of 2019. And we'll be back in just a moment. Stay with us. Hey, everybody. Dan Scott here, and I want to tell you about my technology partner, Carolina Creative Group. When my show needed a creative technology boost, I turned to Carolina Creative Group. My custom design website is going to take marketing as well as brand strategy and development to new levels. The search engine optimization means that my clients' ads will be seen by more people more often. And if I have any questions, Carolina Creative Group is just a phone call away. Friends, that is just the tip of the proverbial iceberg. You can find out all the ways that Carolina Creative Group can help your business by simply calling 864-250-2012. Again, that's 864-250-2012, or simply visit them online at carolinacreative.co. Carolina Creative Group, technology partner of the Dan Scott Show.
Imagine a university. A university where your passion for protecting local water sources is encouraged. And now, your work not only benefits your career, but the health of those in your community and around the world. This is Furman. This is the Furman Advantage.
If you're looking for auto repair, you want superior work, not inferior parts and worse, inferior pricing. Hi, this is Dan Scott. I take all of my business to Superior Auto Care. That's Chris Burkett at 410 Ross Avenue in Easley. He brought my wife's car back from the dead. There's no other way to say it. For 4 months, it had been sitting with a major transmission issue. Chris was able to diagnose it along with some other problems and get it back and running again. Mrs. Scott is happy, and guys, you know how it is. Happy wife, happy life, right? Well, he can do it all for you, from the simple things like oil changes, brake service, air conditioning service, tires, to major engine and transmission work, even electrical work. Works on domestic cars as well as foreign cars. Again, they're located at 410 Ross Avenue. That's Superior Auto Care. Give them a call today at 864-306-1988. Superior Auto Care in Easley.
Let me tell you something, Cowboy. This rookie can really bring the heat.
He's smoky and spicy with a Chipotle style all his own.
It's a new Montgomery Inn Chipotle barbecue sauce. Make it a part of your home team.
Available now at your neighborhood grocer or online at CincyFavorites.com.
Dan Scott here for Todaro Pizza. Some of you may remember my old radio show in Clemson. Todaro Pizza was a sponsor of mine from the earliest days of the show. And if you know anything about me when it comes to advertising restaurants, if I don't like the food, I ain't going to tell you to go there. I love Todaro Pizza, and now Clemson's Best Pizza has finally come to Greenville. Yes, the new Todaro location is located at 116 North Markley Street, right down the block from Fluor Field. Classic, specialty and stuffed pizzas, calzones, wings, and so much more. The No Limit Lunch Buffet is available 7 days a week for just $8. Monday night is cheap pizza night, and you can try your hand at trivia every Thursday. Todaro Pizza has outdoor dining on Markley. It's open late, making it a convenient stop before or after the drive games. Find them on Facebook or online at TodaroPizza.com. Todaro Pizza, 864-603-3500.
For a child battling a critical illness, a wish come true can be a turning point. One song, one dance, one game, one moment changes everything. Make-A-Wish needs your support to grant more life-changing wishes. Visit Make-A-Wish online now. Together, we can transform lives, one wish at a time.
Dan Scott here for the Atlanta Bread Company. What do I like about Atlanta Bread? Well, too much to mention in a short commercial, but here are a few things. Bread baked daily fresh on site, a tremendous selection of soup, sandwiches, and salads, seasonal special additions to the menu, delicious hot coffee, and a bevy of other drink options, and yeah, can't forget about the baked sweet goodies. Dine in or carry out, and when you have the Atlanta Bread Company app, you can order and pay online, then breeze past the lines to the pickup counter to get your food. Experience it for yourself. That's the Atlanta Bread Company, Cherrydale Point in Greenville. If you're looking for a unique dining experience in the Clemson area, let me suggest Four Paws American Pub, where they have specials like Carolina popcorn, a freshly battered fried okra, which is the hottest selling appetizer and side item in the upstate, or the Bulldozer, the signature burger featuring a fried green tomato, Four Paws pimento cheese and bacon with a smoky house aioli, or you can build your own burger or a fresh green salad from a large selection of toppings. And they also have the teriyaki salmon hand-seared over rice or a bed of green salad. Enjoy terrific food at Four Paws American Pub in Clemson. You can enjoy local recipes while watching games on the TVs or relaxing with your pup on the dog-friendly patio. Come to Four Paws, located on Highway 93 in front of the Courtyard Marriott, or call 654-5151 to order for carry-out and tailgating. You need to make tracks to Four Paws American Pub. All right, welcome back. About 12 minutes past the hour, and Happy New Year's Eve once again. Dan Scott here with you. You heard from our friends at Four Paws there at the end of the commercial set. Billy Davis will be with us next week, the former retired United States Secret Service agent and, of course, two-sport star and national champion football player at Clemson on their first championship team in 81. He'll be joining us next week back in town after his latest trip with Franklin Graham in Operation Christmas. That not too long into my tenure at the Clemson radio station, Low, those many years ago, that I decided, I'm knowledgeable about some things, and I don't mind sharing opinions about things. But if I can bring on somebody who, as they say, has been there and done that, that's a lot more valuable, at least as far as I'm concerned, than me telling you some things. That's why, I can talk about the NFL and did talk about the NFL and offered opinions. But you want to get into the nuts and bolts of something, well, I would always go to Sam Weish, or I would go to Brandon Bennett, who played in the National Football League, the former South Carolina star. Baseball-wise, I had people to go to and so forth and so on. It's nice to, when you're getting ready to spend some time talking about an upcoming national championship football game, to be able to go to somebody who has actually played in one, and Billy Davis did that back in 1981. Remains very, very much in tune with the Clemson program now. So we'll be talking about that, his experience, and some of the other things. And every time we do, and the reason I mention this is because our friends at Four Paws sponsor Billy Davis when he's able to be on with us. All right, let's talk about some Furman stuff coming up. And despite the fact that there's not a lot going on campus, obviously because of the holidays, everybody is out of here. The students are gone. There's actually going to be a bit of activity here this week, beginning tonight with the women's basketball team entertaining Elon at 7 p.m. And tonight is Daddy-Daughter Night. Now take a look at this deal. For $5, you get 2 tickets and 2 pizza vouchers. And then additional tickets, you want to bring mama, right? $2.50. So a family of 3 is going to get in for $7.50. A family of 4 is going to get in for $10. And you're going to get those 2 free pizza vouchers. and you're going to get to see the team that has been picked to be the league's best in the SoCon playing another out-of-conference game against former SoCon member Elon tonight. And it's daddy-daughter night. Man, what a great night and what a great promotion that is. Just looking forward to seeing how many fathers and daughters are actually going to be in attendance tonight at Timmons Arena. 7 o'clock, and if you can't make it, the game will be televised via ESPN3, and Bryant Lambert and Phil Cox, I believe, will have that call for you. Then coming up on Wednesday, the men are back in action for the first time in a while since the December 20th game at Mercer, by the way, which was the Southern Conference opener and snuck out a 64-62 win on the road to open SoCon play. Wednesday, New Year's Day, an afternoon matinee in beautiful Lexington, Virginia, a 1 o'clock tip for the Keydets and the Paladins, and the pregame will begin at 12:30 on the network with Bryant and Jordan Caskey actually making the call on that one. The Van Wagner Furman Basketball Radio Network is those are the words I was looking for. The Paladins will try to improve to 12-3 overall and try to improve to 2-0 in the league. Fast forward to Thursday, the women are back here against Newberry College beginning at 7 p.m. And then on Saturday at 4 p.m., it is the first Southern Conference home game of the season as the very, very talented ETSU Bucks will be in Timmons Arena. That's a 4 o'clock start, and we'll have the broadcast for you radio-wise beginning at 3:30 p.m. On January the 8th, Wednesday of the following week, you have the men's team on the road at Chattanooga, and then on the 11th, we're coming back for our second of the 3 weekend at the Well games against UNCG, which will be part of a men's-women's doubleheader. The women will play Samford in the 4:30 game. The men will play the 7 o'clock game on that night against UNCG. So it's starting to get ramped up again. And just, you know what, you've been, like a lot of people, I'm sure, spending some much-needed time with family and some downtime around the house. Obviously, that's important, but you may be getting a little stir-crazy. Why not go check out a basketball game? And you can do that tonight with Daddy-Daughter Night at Timmons Arena. So Furman's women and Elon at 7 o'clock tonight. Hope you can make it and check that one out. All right, it's 10:18. We're going to step out for another break. I told you it was going to be an abbreviated edition of the show today. We'll come back and kind of look ahead to what I'm tentatively calling Vision 2020 for the new year and kind of lay out the schedule for you, because there are going to be some things happening, especially now that we have gotten some dates firmed up on some things. So I kind of want to lay that out personally, show-wise, broadcast-wise, and we'll wrap up this pre-New Year's Eve edition of the program in just a moment. This is the Dan Scott Show, and we'll be back with our final segment right after this. Hey everybody, Dan Scott. You know, I've been telling you for some time now that I switched the protection of my home and family to Security Complete. I can tell you that I've been ecstatic with the results. Locally owned with more than 40 years experience in the industry, Security Complete uses nothing but the latest technology, which equals low overhead, which equals greater savings to the customer. Fully automated systems with monitoring rates much lower than the competition. Security Complete gives you all this and does not require a contract of any length. Find out more by calling 864-546-0630 or find them on Facebook and Twitter. Security Complete, my first line of defense. Make them yours today.
We're all trying to find our way, forge a path, blaze a trail. The work is hard and the work is personal, but you can't do it alone. At Furman, we're committed to giving you an advantage. The Furman Advantage. We know that graduates who are emotionally supported and who have deep learning experiences in college are 3 times as likely to be engaged at work and thriving in life. At Furman, all students are guaranteed 4 years of rigorous classroom education integrated with high-impact research, internships, study away, and a community of support every step of the way. This is the Furman Advantage.
Is your roof leaking or damaged? Do your gutters need repaired? You can Google roofing companies until your computer overheats, or you can simply call the best, Bracken Roofing and Gutter. Whether it's roof replacement, new and remodel installation, roofing insurance claims, whatever your needs, Bracken Roofing and Gutter will simply do it right the first time. And the same goes for gutter screen installations. Forget about balancing on ladders and cleaning your gutters. Let Bracken Roofing and Gutter screen them for you today. Listen, do not settle for subpar work. Get a free inspection today. Check out their reviews on Facebook. You'll see many satisfied customers, and they're all saying the same thing, that they're happy that they chose Bracken Roofing and Gutter. That's Bracken Roofing and Gutter. Call Kyle today at 864-704-5993. .22 and down the stretch we come. Final segment of the show, only show of the week and the last show of the year, which is why I'm playing this now instead of on Friday's final segment, because, well, we won't be here on Friday. Anyway, thank you for tuning in and indulging us on a brief, abbreviated edition of the Dan Scott Show, Final One of 2019. Just wanted to kind of set you up for what is upcoming as we move forward. Beginning a week from today, we'll get back into the regular Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 10 a.m. show schedule. And of course, things will start to pick up around campus here, and that'll mean podcasts and other things that'll be going on once the students get back. Matter of fact, they come back, move back in the weekend of our next weekend at the Well game, the 11th and 12th, and then classes start that next week. So that's when things will really crank back up full style. But next week we'll be here probably Monday, Wednesday, and Friday just to get going, because there are basketball games to talk about, games to cover, and things to do. And so from a show standpoint, that's going to happen. Personally, you know that I've been keeping you up to date on what's been going on with the program that I'm in for the weight loss surgery. Well, that surgery date finally has been set. You know, I started the program back in September, and they said the surgery could be as early as middle of December, which is why, as I've detailed, we made the decision to take me off the road for basketball, put Bryant Lambert and Tom Van Hoy chiefly doing the road games, just so there's some consistency in the broadcast. I've mentioned this before. I hate turning on the radio and not knowing what announcer is going to be there for the team that I follow. So I wanted there to be some consistency with me doing the home games, Bryant doing the away games. So they said it could be in the middle of December. Well, as the scheduling and everything went on, it kept getting pushed back, and finally got the date scheduled for February the 4th. So that's when I'll be going out for my surgery. Different people tell you different things about this particular surgery and how long you may be out. They want you to stay out 4 weeks, but they have told us that there are people who have felt well enough to go back to work, within a couple of weeks or sooner. My goal, quite honestly, is to be behind the microphone 10 days following surgery for the opening of baseball season, for opening day at Latham Stadium on Valentine's Day, February the 14th. That's the goal. But we're also going to have to wait and see. Bottom line is there will be some time in that stretch from February the 4th moving forward where we won't have a show and where I will miss a basketball broadcast or two or possibly three. But after that, we should be back onto an everyday routine, things moving forward as normal. Bryant and Tom will stay with basketball on the road for as long as the season goes, and that will include the Southern Conference tournament and anything beyond the SoCon tournament, and just again to maintain that consistency. And then, of course, next season we'll revisit all that and probably get back into the same old routine. But just wanted you to know, because I've been trying to keep you up to date on all of these things, that the surgery date has been set for February the 4th. And so from that point on, in the ensuing week, 10 days, maybe 2 weeks, there are going to be some things that I'm going to miss. Fortunately, we've got some awfully talented people around here with Tom and Bryant and others who can fill in and get it done. So that's a great comfort to me. And one of the things that I'm trying to learn, not just through this process, but as I get older, is to let go of some things. Not this Sunday, but the previous Sunday at church, I had the privilege for the 4th straight year of teaching a Sunday school lesson entitled "Mary, Did You Know?" Based off the song and, of course, that whole story about the birth of Christ. And one of the things that I always do in that lesson, when it comes to the passage in the second chapter of Luke, where it talks about, and there were in the same country shepherds abiding in the fields, keeping watch over the flock by night. I always go to Charlie Brown Christmas and let Linus do that for a couple of reasons. Number one, 54 straight years the birth of Christ has been announced on national television, which I think is pretty cool. But number two, there's a hidden lesson in there. And I detail that. There's a moment in Linus when he is doing those verses where when he says the words "fear not," remember the angel said, "Fear not, for behold, I bring you good tidings of great joy, which shall be unto all people." Well, when Linus says "fear not," he drops his security blanket. And Linus never let his security blanket go. But that was Charles Schultz's subtle way of letting us know that, fear not. There's nothing to be afraid of here. This is great news for all people. And so I detail that, and the point of all this is, one of the things that I come back to is that we're all afraid to let go of things. We're all afraid to let go of certain things in our lives, and the biggest thing is control. We want to be in control of every aspect in our lives, and from the aspect of the Sunday school lesson, obviously we're talking about letting God be in control, total control of our lives. So in a roundabout way, that's why I'm talking about getting older and doing some things and having people in place here, because I've always been the type of person that I want to be in control of everything. I want to be in control of the broadcast. I want to be on the air, every broadcast, not missing anything. And to a certain degree, I'm still that way, and you have to think that way in this business because it is your job. It is a highly competitive business. But at the same time, you also have to be willing to step back when times are, when it's necessary in a situation like this, or as you're getting a little bit older and realize that part of your job now, and this is at least the way I look at it, is not only to continue to do my best for Furman and bringing high quality broadcasts and working as hard as I can to make sure that we put out the best product possible. But part of my job is also to start grooming other people, other broadcasters, and allowing them to do some things. So Brian is on the road now, a young broadcaster, getting his first real shot at doing something at this level. Cole Neely, who is still a member of the football team here at Furman, is going to be interning with me in this spring semester. And we did a Furman Sports Weekly with him. You're going to be hearing a lot of him in various capacities moving forward in the spring. Giving back, letting go of a few things, and grooming other people who are younger than you to give them the necessary tools, if this is what they want to do, to get as prepared as they can at this level to move on. I think that's part of the responsibility that somebody in my position has, and unfortunately, we've become such a self-centered generation that when young people come along and want to learn, or the opportunity perhaps is there to help groom somebody, the reaction is no, because I don't want them ultimately to take my job. And I have fought that. But ultimately, God's in control of that. I'm not, right? So the bottom line is that I have tried to learn, I am trying to learn that I can't do everything, and that at this juncture, I'm only 52. I've got a lot of years ahead of me production-wise, good Lord willing, because I got into this business very, very early. But 34 years into it, with that kind of experience under my belt, it's time, beyond time, to be sharing that experience. I've tried to do it all along the way, but it's becoming more and more apparent to me now that it's more important than ever that people like me in this position do that when you have the opportunity. And I'm just grateful to have good people here to be able to work with. I'm grateful for an administration that has been on board with, even if they don't completely understand what radio means here, because it was outsourced for so long, and I'm still kind of fighting that battle. They are at least open-minded, and they tolerate and they support what I do, and I want to give back by grooming people to help us so we can have a deep talent pool here, not just for the three main sports we do, but for the other sports we do. People that maybe I can help bring in to help Caleb with what he does with the video broadcast of all the different sports we do on campus, and not be such a control freak. I don't know how I ended up on that subject, but that's kind of my message moving forward. Let go and let God, right? I think that's a good resolution for 2020. I don't make New Year's resolution. Matter of fact, my yearly resolution normally is not to make one, but I think that's probably a good one. Let go and let God, and just move forward from there. Listen, thank you for continuing to support the show through another year. We will begin 2020, again, not the rest of this week, but a week from today, we'll be back on the air and going on our regular Monday, Wednesday, Friday routine at 10 a.m. In and around doctor's appointments and all of that, understand. And Billy Davis will be among the guests we'll have. We'll be getting Dave Glenn back and going and doing the things that we do on a regular basis. Most of all, trying to do something that, from a broadcast standpoint, nobody else is doing here. And the only other person who's doing it on a regular basis from a print/blog standpoint is Scott Keeler, who I hope you will continue to support at FurmanSportsReport.com. But our goal is to try to give Furman fans something that they don't get anywhere else, and that's insight and daily or multiple times weekly content surrounding Furman University athletics. Have a great New Year's Eve. Again, please be safe. Don't do anything stupid. And we look forward to seeing you back here, God willing, next Monday for the first show of the new decade, 2020. Still hard to believe. Listen, go out, make a positive difference in somebody else's life. And good Lord willing, we will see you in a week. Until then, Happy New Year. I'm Dan Scott saying God bless you. So long, everybody.